This is a screen recording for my good friends at Sacred Heart who are doing this as an early childhood ECE TRIS independent study assignment. And I have set this at 6 credit hours. So part of that, of course, involves going to the film, and it is Wednesday, November 9th, and it begins at 7, but the doors open at 6:30. And just FYI, there is parking on the student parking lot will be open, and you'll be able to walk into the health sciences building. If you park in the student parking located on 2nd and Chestnut, the health sciences building is, if you walk towards the college, you'll see on the right is the library, and then directly in front of you is the health sciences building. And I think we'll have signs directing you that night, so hopefully it will be clear. But the parking's free, and when you walk in the health sciences building, room 166 is to your left. So you'll come in the building and make a left down the hallway, and the room is on the left. So hopefully that'll be helpful for you. So the film is about an hour long, and then afterwards there's conversation with Rob for an hour, so that's counts as 2 of your credit hours, of course. And then I've created this little independent study to do afterwards so that you can maximize the TRIS hours. So basically I have here on this page the information about the film, and if you go to the download the press kit right here, it'll open up and show you a lot about the film that you might be interested in seeing before you go, or even after you go, if you decide you want to learn more about the people in the film. So I have some reflection questions here for you. So after watching the film, you can fill these in, just jot down some answers. I'm not expecting you to spend a lot of time on this part, just to kind of give you a reflection pause. So no big deal here. So the meat and potatoes of this study comes now. I've done a lot of work in early childhood with this project for 18 years now. And so I can tell you it's been used really successfully in lots of preschool settings around the country, and a few here, which is wonderful. There are kind of 2 ways to look at this in early childhood. You could look at it as looking at the portraits as people. We could teach the children some of the names and stories, of course, on their level, about truth teller helpers. So it's a new way to look at community helpers, and I like calling them truth teller helpers. I think that's a really nice thing for kids to grow up understanding, that you can help your community by being a truth teller helper. And they could learn some of the truth teller names and see their posters and portraits, and even look in, maybe you might want to do a unit of study. I know they relate well to the IB themes. I did a document for Austin years ago that directly correlates them to the IB themes. So if you want that document, we can get it to you, but I think you can figure it out on your own. Then there's also, of course, they can be used during Black, Indigenous, Women's, LGBTQ history months and that kind of way. If you want some names for those, let me know and I'll provide those separately. If you are interested in doing something with that for this particular study, let me know, because I have some free copies of a middle school book about Rosa Parks. It's really, really good. And you could do an in-depth study of that. It's an easy read. But it has a lot of different information about Rosa Parks in it that you may or may not know. It might make a great way for you to think about how you would present it at the preschool level when you do Black History Month. You might want to revamp how you talk about Rosa Parks, which would be definitely something you could do for this independent study. So if you decide you want to do that, you can stop here. You can stop the video and just write me an email and say, I want to do the Rosa Parks independent study. And then I'll set you on a path for that and get you the book. If you want to decide, you're not sure yet, let's just look at what we have here. So I've kind of broken it down into two categories. Option one would be the Truth Teller Community Helper. So I've listed these Truth Teller helpers for you. I have a lot of resources for you if you choose one of these to do. So let me know who you choose. I have tons of resources on them that are not listed on this website. You can go read about them here to decide, but just know that I have resources for preschool teachers about these particular Truth Teller helpers. So then if you go down here, the option two is that maybe you just want to look at a Truth Teller educator who inspires. So some of those are Mara Sapin-Shavin is here. She has a lot of books on cooperative games. Nancy Carlson Page is an early childhood icon. I have all her books, and if you don't know her work, please look into her, even if you don't do her for your independent study. And then John Hunter, same thing. Lots of resources I have for you there if you decide to do his story. And Bill Bigelow, again, lots of resources about him. And Marian Wright Edelman, another icon of the world of early childhood and children in general, the founder of the Children's Defense Fund, an amazing, amazing educator. So you can't go wrong with choosing one of these educators if you decide to do that. So basically you have two choices for this independent study. You could do the Truth Teller educator, or you can do a community helper. If you want to do both, I can create a separate TRIS independent study, and you could do two if that's okay with Austin and Jessica, and that would be, you ended up with 12 credit hours. It's really up to you. But for now, I would suggest choose one and go from there, and let me know what you decide to do in case you want more resources. Just send me an email. If you don't want more resources, if you're good to go, then that's fine too. I don't think Austin and Jessica have set a due date for these, so we'll be letting you know about that, but I wanted to get this to you now before the film screens. So one last thing, if you feel like you want to do this study but you cannot make the film, or maybe the film happens and you get sick that day or whatever, you do not need to see the film to do this independent study. I can work with you on that. So that's another option. That's actually an option 3 that's not listed here. But I don't want people to feel nervous about missing the film and not being able to do the study if they're interested. So just be in touch with me about this, and I hope this little recording is helpful to kind of jumpstart your thinking about it.